This morning we're going to look at the dragon representative posture of Yin style Baguazhang. This is a common posture in Baguazhang. In Yin style we do it a little bit differently, but we're going to look at that in a little more detail and how it might be used in a martial arts context. This is out of Yin style Baguazhang. We have 8 animal systems. We have the lion system, we have the snake representative posture, we have the bear representative posture, and then this is dragon, right? And then we also have phoenix, we have rooster, and we have unicorn, and we have monkey. Those are the 8 animal systems of Yin style Baguazhang, and the dragon is the eldest brother in Bagua theory, just underneath the lion. So it's very yang, very aggressive, very direct, and we're going to look at that. Another thing that's a little bit different about Yin style is our circles are quite small. So the center of circle is right where the palm is. We do 4-point stepping around. So we change in a square and we walk in a circle. But we're just going to look at some of these basic ideas just from the basic changes of dragon. In Yin style, we have 4 main practices: standing, so zhǎng, zhuǎn, dà, huàn. So standing, turning, striking, changing. So in our standing posture for the dragon, what we want to do is create we want to separate the body and create a strong stretch. So we're taking slack out of the system. We're creating basically a tensegrity structure where there's no slack in the system. So everything is separated. And through separating and rolling, we create this pretty strong posture that we can start to use in our martial arts. When we get into the representative posture of the dragon, we have this very basic opening and rolling. So if Dusty has his guard up, this can be very useful for engage when you make contact. This roll, I can use that roll to assert my structure and open up the center line. He's pretty strong, he's using some force, but even just with the roll, using my waist, my body weight, and the shape, I can open him up. And getting a nice advantage for other things getting out to the side, I can also just open them up. But just this little bit of a movement can be quite useful for opening up his guard and inserting my structure. When we make contact and open up, obviously this opens up a lot of stuff right here. And so we have, what we often think is about the main palm, but we have the secondary palm right here. And it fits really nice into the floating ribs for contact. So we can open up here and we can switch and strike. Dragon, as a practice, tends to be a little bit long. So we have these pushes and it just opens them up for the push. So we can be like a quick strike, and this fits perfectly right in here. It gets a lot of force into his ribs. Or we can just create a push. The palm itself has a push, but because of the shape of the palm, it has a little bit of a lift. So once again, with that one, I create a push by dropping my elbow, dropping my weight, I create a little bit of a lift. So it has this little bit of a swooping action, which can be useful just to get him up and off his feet if I just want to clear him out of the way. Another idea is, opening to the side, but also coming down. So we have this heavy force, this little chopping force, which is really useful for then coming up and creating this lifting palm. The dragon palm has a skill of lifting and holding, right? So we come on down. Of course, ready for it. But another way of lifting and holding can be right here. I was down here, but underneath the armpit, just to get him up off his feet, move him out. But it's using the shape. I'm really not changing the shape at all. The shape, like I say, sometimes the shape does the work. So I'm setting up my stepping so I can orientate myself well, come in here and just let the shape do the work. It's obviously, those qualities are developed through the standing and the single action. But it's just a nice way of doing that. You can also, come up here, getting them up, opening them up for other things. But it has this upward motion. Lifting and holding with the dragon. Another quality of this lifting and holding is I can kind of get them going up a little bit. So assuming I make contact. And what happens is it opens me up. Pardon me, trying to do that too fast. But it opens up a nice lifting strike. So I get this going up, and again, being a little bit nicer to Dusty here, but you can obviously get into the chin. You can also do the same thing here. Nobody likes to get hit in the face, so he's protecting, but if you catch him by surprise, or get him all the way over, this upward strike to the chin is pretty nasty. In fact, the doctor one time, he did that to me. He was just like, boom, and just came up and popped me. He actually didn't, enough that I knew it was there, but he didn't wreck me or anything. But it's just a real fast 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Dragon also has these big, movements, doing the direction changes, which can be useful, again, kind of creating this lifting and holding. Slip this way a little bit. Yeah, and so, I can control this arm here and come across, but then with my step and with this rising, come on in and create a nice opening. So getting out to the side, dominating here, and then creating this big opening. It's also useful, here I'm creating contact right here, but also like creating that movement when I enter in. Boom. And step around to this side. So as a little bit more of a live thing, like getting this out of the way and having this come up. You have the elbow, you have the palm, you have all this stuff coming in. So there's a little bit more of a cover. This is a little bit more that chopping idea. So if you get up again, it's like here, you have an elbow, you have the back of the head, you have lots of things going on. But oftentimes you can elicit a response and then cover that response and come up on top. These are pretty classic things that I got beat up with a lot in China. So they come pretty natural. But being able to elicit a response and create that cover, and then even with his hand there, I can get to the back of his head and get a nice chopping action going on. So whether the arm is coming underneath or the arm here is coming over the top, just a simple kind of direction change using that motion from the dragon. Dragon also has this idea of entering, and so it's pretty direct. Again, the dragon is direct; it doesn't really mess around. So again, coming down this straight motion, a simple cover. In yin style, one of the things they talk about is the hand never leaves the elbow never leaves the solar plexus. So oftentimes when we present with both hands so that they can do work. They can work together. And that's why it ends up looking a little bit fast, because the hands don't need to travel very far. So coming up with this like kind of crossed hand posture, I could just simply make a cover, right? Make a cover and then come in. Yeah, and so it's the same thing. Boom. And then, I was doing lifting or chopping, but also entering straight in. I'm using my whole body, I'm using my waist. But when you develop through the practices of connected body, you can move mass, right? And so same thing, I just did that a little bit, like not even letting you get your guard up. But very useful for controlling the hands and entering. So because we come up with both hands, it does seem fast, and the changes come pretty fast. This could be right here, I'm just switching my feet, coming here and attacking the arm, getting out to the side. And so this doesn't have to travel very far to get here. If I cover this doesn't have to travel far. So it's this idea that it's pretty close. I'm never retracting. I'm never coming here and then coming back up. I'm never it's all kind of right here, all very quickly exchanged with my foot, with my waist, and then just the covering of the palm, the waist, coming under, coming over, coming to the side, coming up, using the stepping. So it tends to seem a little bit fast, and in a sense, it's a little bit overwhelming, right? It's it's all kind of right there. And so it's a way, the dragon being very direct and taking the initiative, it causes those reactions and takes advantage. The thing about dragon is it's a young animal, has a lot of structure and integrity. So I don't have to necessarily be fast, even though it does come out fast, because it's very connected. I'm not depending on speed. Like to get this opening, I actually have my whole body behind this, and I can use my my structure in a sense. The same thing here is like, here I have my body behind the palm, and so I can use that palm, not like a strike where I have to be like, you know, fast or whatever. I can actually be relatively slow and have a lot of control because I'm using my structure. So I think that's one of the characteristics of the young animals of Yin style Baguazhang is like, I don't have to, I don't have to wind up or whatever. I can be right here and create that force. So that's one of the characteristics of dragon. Yeah, so I'm not just pushing with my arm. I have my conditions, my body's connected. I'm releasing my waist, but I'm also releasing my waist, and you can't, it's kind of subtle to see, but I'm actually using my body weight too. Like, I'm dropping, and I'm also dropping my mass. And there's this interesting thing that happens as your mass drops, the force spreads. So all I have to do is drop the mass and be able to channel that into the palm, and then you get an effect without having to reach out. So that's why, all these palms are like all kind of right here. I'm never really pulling back. It might seem like I'm pulling back because I'm releasing my waist, but it's all because I can release that palm with force and integrity without having to depend on speed and wind up. Yeah, so this is just a quick introduction in using this dragon palm and how we use it in different ways, using the inherent qualities within the palm in the dragon system of Yin style Baguazhang. Hey, my name is Garth Reynolds. Thanks for watching the video. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you see and want to learn more. You can also visit me at my site, Bagua Internal Arts. I just like to spread what I've learned and share what I've learned with Baguazhang and other internal arts.